public comment?
I've got a couple of things that I wrote down, I'd just like to read them. First of all, I'd like to comment Jeff on his letter a couple weeks ago to Beacon about the park. It was about the first positive thing we've read in Beacon for a long time. Thanks, Jeff. Like I say, I just wrote this stuff down, so I'm gonna read it verbatim. Being a trustee is like running a business, or should be. Have the answers, or else table the questions. Like last month, we were asked about the fines for the trash hauling and everything, and you guys didn't act like you knew what was going on up there. You made last minute decisions. If you don't know the answers, table it and get the answers. You know, it looks silly that way. It's been that way for quite a while. Let's see. You're supposed to be the leaders, act like it. The name calling really needs to stop, and that's on both sides. You know, we don't need it from you guys out, you know, directed out this way. We don't need it from the people out here directed towards you guys. Go with the respect. You know, going back, you know, a few hundred years ago, we fought the Revolutionary War so we could have our independence and free speech. I served my country in the Air Force to defend those rights. So in my opinion, anybody, friend or foe, that walks through the door has a right to be heard and responded to with respect and dignity. You know, not being called names and everything. Goes back to the other thing. The zoning seems like that's getting out of control, depending on what side of the fence you're on. You know, whether you're liked, not liked, or whatever. It just seems like there's a lot of witch hunting going on the last few months. Every month for the last few months, we've heard about the West and the Patty Volans. You know, after these months, we get it. They don't like each other. They live on the same road. You can't see each other's house from each other's place. You know, the West, they don't like Patty's weed garden or potato garden, tires or whatever.
I like it.
You like it?
Yeah, it don't
Don't bother
bother me.
me, we just want to leave us,
No.
leave us alone.
Well, Patty doesn't like your storage building and this,
I like everybody.
Too
I
bad.
like
and this and that.
Too bad.
You know, drop it. You know, this isn't the place for it anymore. If we were gonna do something about it in here, it would have been done. Let them settle it in civil court. You know, as far as Eric Fox, you guys seem to have to refer to him on an awful lot of stuff. Eric Fox doesn't run this township. You know, that's what our taxpayers pay you guys for, to run it. You know, hopefully with our input. He's not worried about our township. He probably lives in a neighborhood with manicured lawns and doesn't even have an old car in his driveway. You know, he probably trades it in every other year or every year. Having given the contract to Big O, that was a wrong thing to do. Common sense would tell you that with only one bid, with all the carriers out there, that something went wrong. There should have been more bids in here on that. I, for one, I don't know about everybody else, but we've got this sign out here in front of the playground that seems like there's no trouble getting the auctions put on there, but I'd like to see all the public meetings put on there. What the meetings are about, and the date and time, you know, posted, so everybody driving through will know. You know, we need to get more people in here than what little crowd we have here. It seems to me, you know, and I've discussed this with other people, the trustees seem to forget that you work for us. You know, we're your bosses. You know, our tax dollars pay your salaries, pays Barb's salary. So as my employees, I want a voice in what goes on in the township. You know, other than, you know, a lot of the bickering and everything that goes on. Now, you know, I'm sorry if I stepped on any toes with anybody, but, you know, that's just the way I feel, and I felt that way for quite a while. You know, if you guys are gonna be in there, then run it like a business. We're your bosses, let us have the input. You know, we were given an out on the trash, not to bring that up, that's a done deal, but we were given an out on that where we could have backed up and redone that. And it wasn't done. It wanted to be pushed through by you guys. You know, and like other people's told you, elections are coming. You know, maybe it's just Dawn this time, but, you know, it's gonna be you two, you know, the next time. Run it right.
I second that.
Okay. You know, we only got one bid, and
Why is that, Don?
I don't know, it was in the paper like it should have been. We got one bid, it's the same price that Franklin got, Hebron got, Granville got, same price. So, you know, and I talked to several people that had Waste Management, and they said Waste Management come pick their dumpsters up the day they're supposed to and send them their refund check. They got it back real quick.
That's all fine and dandy.
Yeah, but I mean,
But yeah, you're taking away the people's choices.
well,
You know, the people ought to have a say. Now, whether they want you to save them $10 or not, that's up to them.
And we're also trying to, you know, make the community safer, is what we're trying to do, you know, another aspect of that, and you gotta realize that too.
You got the trash haulers burglarizing or what?
We're only running-
How are you making it safer?
You're running that truck up and down that road instead of 5 trucks. that
Trucks are
run that
gonna
road.
run up and down the roads anyway.
They're gonna use the main roads, definitely, of course, you know, the side roads, they're not gonna run.
Well, then let me ask you this then. If you wanted to make a resolution to make it one hauler on the township roads, why did you have to make it for the state and county roads? You guys don't take care of those roads. When was the last time you dropped a plow on those roads? When was the last time you dropped it, you know, patched a hole?
Honestly, when did we plow some of those roads last winter?
last winter, state,
The state requested you?
no. We had to get to our roads, Linville, they was backed up.
I mean, it's kinda asinine for us to plow our roads, you know, over to Laurel Hill, and then Laurel Hill be a foot deep. You guys can get off of the side roads on Laurel Hill, but can't go nowhere, so if the county hadn't been through there, we go ahead and plow it. I mean, is that our responsibility? No. You know, we do it to help you guys out.
But we just, the reason we done that was asked for several residents, and we didn't think we was taking anyone's rights away, we was helping to get a cheaper price.
And a comment on a thing you had said there about if we don't have the answers to go find them. And then the next sentence you said that we talked to Eric Fox a lot. He's our legal counsel. So if we don't have the answers, that's what we do. We talk to our legal counsel.
And when I first started, we didn't talk to prosecutors at all. But
But
things
what-
have changed since then.
But
And we
you
have
guys
to,
have to admit, every time the trash thing was brought up, and I hate to go back on that, but that's the most recent thing. Every time the trash thing was brought up, it was just bickering and hollering and name calling. Am I right or wrong?
Sure.
Yeah, it was. Oh, yeah.
Well, you know, I'd like to see it stopped.
I
You know.
would too. I would too.
You know,
I'd like to once come to a civil meeting, you know, we go about our business and go home.
definitely, I mean, I think we all would, you know.
Well, it's not happening then.
Well, how would you suggest that we fix that?
You know, I don't know, I don't have all the answers.
You know, I mean, for human too, we don't either, so.
Well, then we need to work on it then, don't we?
Definitely.
If we don't work on it, we're not gonna solve anything.
As far as the trash problem, that should have been a community input. There should have been a community meeting, and it should have been from the beginning, just like the other townships did.
You know, maybe there
That
should have,
was
maybe there
not
should have
done.
been, you know.
It should or should not have been. The thing is, you guys work for us, we pay your thing, and you are correct. It was out of hand, and it shouldn't have happened at all. We don't want it to happen again.
Well, next time speak up, and we discussed this.
We thought we was doing everyone a favor by saving you money. But
That isn't the point. You didn't do it in the proper order. And if you'd asked Eric Fox, he would have told you the proper order in which to do that.
And we did the proper order by running an ad.
You ran an ad about this big, but you didn't let everybody else know about it.
Who were we supposed to let know?
You did
Legally,
not.
Eric said legally that we're not allowed to send letters to other trash line companies. That's
Not after you put it out. So you guys are missing one big issue here. It's after you put it out. Before, you can have meetings all you want and talk to anybody you want beforehand. But you didn't mention that. I guarantee you, he would have told you that beforehand. You can do whatever you want.
You got to
Afterwards, you
excuse
can't.
me. This man just got done saying, let's all press towards other things, and now we're back on the track bill. So what have we come for? You know, once again, it's bringing old stuff back up. We can't change the trash bill for 3 years, unless you guys want to change it right now, I guess. Maybe you can do that, make everybody happy.
I just got a question for everybody sitting in here. I mean, obviously they go picking your trash up. Does anybody have any problems with them yet? I mean, does anybody have any complaints about them?
How about it?
You're always gonna find somebody got a
Oh,
problem.
I know, but I'm serious. I really want to know.
I know heard some people that like what they had, CMI, they like CMI. Matter of fact, I talked to somebody this weekend about it, and they said their price is basically the same as what their.
But does anybody have any problems with Big O? Do you have lousy service, poor service from Big O?
Excuse-
Well, my neighbors had to call them twice.
And have they corrected the problem? You know,
Well,
I've
you
never
should have
seen
told them
a problem like
twice.
this, so.
That
You've
isn't,
been
that
corrected
isn't
first
the
time.
issue here.
It's not the issue.
Just a general
This
question.
isn't the issue. The issue is the way it was given to us to start with, and it shouldn't be done on other projects in the future. That's not the issue.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't trying to dredge up the trash thing. I was just using that as an example for myself.
Sure.
But that's what I'm saying.
There is something that hadn't been said. This has been talked about for 3 or 4 or 5 months.
Mhm.
I argued against it too. You know, I thought it was the people's right, but still it has been talked about 3 or 4 or 5 months ago. And probably most of the meetings. So, but the whole bottom line, nobody in the township cares, just like you said. There's only, what, 10 people here
The same
every
people,
meeting?
same people, yeah.
Nobody cares. This is the bottom of the food chain.
And that's why I say, I'd like to have the meetings posted up there on the sign.
But you can have them all there all you want, and people don't care unless it involves them.
Have we tried it yet, though?
Well, I've been here 30 years, and still, it's always about the same people. Of course, some of them already died.
This trash mandate does affect virtually everybody. in the- Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
thought that we elected you guys in for our voice, so we picked you as voters. Correct? So you're our voice. So what you're doing is the best of our interest. I myself personally thought it was at the best of my interest to have one trash truck come down my road instead of 3.
Well, that's just you.
So that's why
That's what
I
the
elected
intention.
everybody sitting up there at that table. Because I know you have my best interest. And I have to trust what you do. Now, I don't see anybody running out and talking to the president.